Here he is, Dave Szfranski.
And I'll be here all week. Literally, I'll be here all week. Not here, but in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Wow. They'd have to break it to you. You're not going to be here all week.
I don't want to be here all week. You couldn't take me all week.
That's
True.
exactly right.
Correct. Yes. It's a big moment because it's Dave's first time in studio while we're doing a live stream on YouTube. Again, if you want to join
Wave
the
to
live
your
stream.
fans. Wave.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, fans.
Oh,
you
my
might wanna-
gosh.
Fan. I mean,
Can we rewind and have him do that again?
Yeah,
That was a little.
exactly. That was weird.
Okay, so just text the word live to 440-546-2255. Text live to
where do you go on?
440-546-2255.
That's how you get on YouTube? You just text live?
Well,
us,
we'll send you a
yeah.
link.
Oh, okay. So I could go on right now. I could
Watch
Yeah.
yourself on. I don't recommend that.
be like a negative loop in there. Because is there a delay
There's
on
about
YouTube?
a 30-second delay, so it's going to be kind of disorienting.
Is that for me?
Well,
That's just the way the streaming software works.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how radio works, too.
Your delay is
for
over
you.
here.
Was that the
Yeah.
grandma sweater thing she just did for me?
and now, okay, so Dave also clearly knows he's going to be on video today because he's wearing a sash. Lauren, would you like to tell folks what that says on it?
It says Mr. America. Oh,
Mr. America.
Look at you. You got the pan down.
I am America, Brian. You know that. You know that I'm America. I'm basically America in a nutshell. Right before I left for Florida, bald eagles were landing on my beach and eating fish. Why? Because they know that I'm America also.
Or just they were hungry and it was a nice
could
place
be.
to stop. Now, I think the most endearing thing about your status as Mr. America is that for your talent in the competition, you did baton twirling. And people were very impressed with that baton twirling. They're like, I didn't know Dave could twirl a
You
baton
didn't know.
like
It's
that.
a hidden skill. I don't talk a lot about it, but you will.
And you sang at the same time.
No.
You did. I remember. Don't minimize this. Don't be humble. It was Bette Midler's "Wind Beneath My Wings," and you were twirling a baton and telling. It was beautiful, Dave.
Yes.
So therefore, Mr. America. Okay. All that said, let's get right to your financial questions. Dave's ready to answer them. 440-546-2255.
all right. Our 19-year-old son is in his first year of college and works part-time. He attends our local community college, and we have avoided loans by paying in cash. He's accumulated $9,000 in his savings account.
Good job, buddy.
We're contemplating next steps to get his money working for him. Should he look into a higher interest savings account, or should he invest in a Roth IRA?
Well, you got to have income to do a Roth IRA. So if he has income, if he's saving $9,000, I assume he's got some income. And I do like putting some money into a Roth IRA. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to hamstring all of his finances because it's not exactly easy to get all your money out of a Roth IRA if you need it.
And he's a first-year college student.
Yeah, so I want to establish with him the habit of savings. Every month, no matter what, we're saving some money. And this is a great time to start because he's young. And the younger you are, the more sense it makes to do a Roth IRA versus a traditional IRA. So, yeah, I do like a Roth IRA for him. I also like a high-yield money market for him. You could get a high-yield money market. I haven't checked the rates today, but yesterday they were right around 5.4%.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. For the first time in a long time, we could make money off of cash. That's unheard of.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, no risk. You can get the money out anytime you want. You can write a check against it if you want a checkbook, but most people don't take a checkbook anymore. They use a debit card or something like that. But those are all options available to you. And then I would have him drop out of college and go to a trade school because he's going to get a better education.
Well,
Absent that, he should, I just talked to somebody yesterday, like, well, I want to go into business. What should I do? Should I go into management? Like, no, get a degree in accounting. And, maybe minor in finance or a degree in finance with a minor in accounting because that's who gets jobs. It's people who understand numbers. If you understand how to
amazing
write...
I have a job.
It is amazing you have a job. Lauren and I were just commenting about that in the back. Another year with Brian. We thought the changes were coming. But no, not again. But that's who gets the jobs. If you can help people write out a schedule and tell people when to come to work and things like that and affirm them at the workplace, that's all great. But in the end, it's the people, the men and women who have accounting and finance degrees who control all the money. And so that's where people should be. If you're going into business, That's where you should be going into. Now, if you're going into basket weaving, you're going to be, you need to practice this phrase. Would you like fries with that? If there's still even people at the front counter, because the minute minimum wages went up, what did they do? They
self-checkout, self-ordering.
Yeah. Try and go to a Walmart and talk to a person while you're checking out. It's virtually impossible. And why is that? Because we demanded a $20 minimum wage in a lot of places. That's an easy equation. You go to a McDonald's. You gotta do your order on a computer. There's 4 of them standing there, and everybody for the last 20 days has touched that thing, and it's never been cleaned. Welcome to McDonald's.
And you have to put your readers on. It's a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole thing.
Yikes.
And unless you're Lauren or me, and like being an accountant sounds like a form of torture.
Oh, sounds horrific.
Well, it's not.
Like painful.
I would get so confused just in my own brain all the time.
Listen,
all the time.
There's a lot of people who go to law school but never become a practicing attorney. So you could go to,
sounds dumb.
It's not dumb, because it opens opportunities for you. And that's what a degree in accounting does. It opens opportunity. You don't have to go be a CPA. You don't have to do people's taxes for a living. And I know people that are CEOs that have a degree in accounting. I know people at the highest levels of corporate life that they have a degree in accounting. They understand the numbers. If you want to be good at business, you got to understand the numbers, and that's how you do it.
No wonder I'm bad at business. All right, 440-546-2255. What do we got next, Lauren?
Is it too late to buy government bonds? Not a good return.
It's not too late to buy government bonds, and I'm going to explain this to you as simply as I can, and Brian's going to laugh at me.
If I can keep up, we'll see.
Right.
So, when I was a kid, Brian, we had these things in playgrounds.
Wait, a long time ago. Okay, hold on.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, I'm there.
We had teeter-totters.
Oh, don't talk like that. You're tempting me.
Teeter-totters.
Do you hear the way he said that?
Yeah.
He does it on purpose. Teeter-twatter.
Oh.
Teeter-totter. The thing is, I graduated high school at 130 pounds.
Okay.
So if Fat Tony was a friend of mine, that was his nickname.
Okay.
If he was on the teeter-totter, I was stuck at the top.
Sure.
I wasn't getting that. But think of this with bonds. So you got interest rates on one side, and you got the value of your bond on the other side. Now, interest rates are still relatively high, and as they come down, the value of your bond goes up on the other side. So a lot of people think, and I'm one of them, that the Federal Reserve and my friend Chair Powell is going to cut rates next year at least a couple of times. And the market is going to bring down rates also. So the value of your bond will go up. Now, I happen to like short-term bonds the best because they pay the most right now. But it's not too late to buy a government bond because you're getting an interest rate and you're also going to get some capital gains if you want it. So it's not too late. I'm being very picky on how I buy them right now. And I do think rates are going to go back up. They were just over 4% yesterday. They're a little under 4% today. But I think they're going back up to 4.25% short term or for the 10-year. And that's when I'll start buying some long bonds again. So you got to be choosy.
And choosy moms choose Jif.
Yes, exactly.
You ever heard that? Sorry, I was totally not listening to you. 8:19, time for a quick break. More Dave Szfranski questions, financial related. You got them? Text them or call them in. 440-546-2255. 440-546-2255. 8:21. Again, we're on the live stream. You can find out what that is.
Dave's dancing.
And
That's a hip intro.
I'd recommend just covering Dave's little square when he dances so you're not traumatized. But just if you want to see it, text live to 440-546-2255.
Sorry, Brian.
Also, there was discussion in the studio about, since we have Walkworthy Men's Conference coming up on Saturday, March 2nd, Canton Baptist Temple featuring Nick Gatsky and Mark Jobe. I think somebody was like, oh, does Dave ever go to that?
Yeah, I do. I didn't go last year because I was out of town. And I just have to look at my schedule, see what's going on this year. But I'll probably be in town.
A couple of years ago, you had
Put it on your calendar right now.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What do you
Take
mean?
out your calendar.
Look at your schedule. Pull out your
Saturday, March
phone.
2nd.
Put it on your calendar.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, where's your
Coming
phone?
at me. There's arrows coming from every direction.
You're on video.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Look it up.
There's every
Do we have to
arrows-
call your
What do you
assistant?
mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Call my people, and they'll talk to you. Maybe.
What do you?
Well, Lauren, you call my people. They won't talk to Brian.
Your wife's still going to be gone, so what do you got going on? Nothing.
I'm foraging for food. That's what I'm doing.
He's out getting foraging.
We
I'm
serve
looking
lunch.
for berries.
Yeah, we got Chick-fil-A, so
Oh, yeah.
breakfast and lunch. So that's 2 meals you don't have to think about.
And maybe your fan club will be there. There was a couple of years ago where a group of college men studying, they were
Econ.
huge nerds, studying economics.
Yeah.
It's cute.
And they were like, can we meet Dave? I'd like
That's
to meet Dave.
nice.
And
Will he shine our pocket protector? He definitely will.
so, Dave, I'd recommend you do this as well. Text WALK to 440-546-2255. Text WALK, and we'll send you a link to get your tickets today. Again, Saturday, March 2nd, Canton Baptist Temple. Dave might be there.
I'm going to try and be there.
There is
This
no
guy.
try.
And if
There
you
is do
stay
or do
late
not.
and help us clean up, then you get to take
No.
more Chick-fil-A, so then you have all 3 meals for the day. So I
Yes.
don't know
There
what
you
you're
go.
doing.
You get breakfast and lunch at
Yes.
the Walkworthy?
Yes.
Well, it's continental breakfast.
Pastries and
Content. What
fruits.
exactly does that mean?
Pastries and fruits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any bacon?
No.
This is one of the reasons why I love Brazil. I mean, I go there all the time, but
Why?
they have done. When you go to a hotel in Brazil, they lay it out. I mean, it is crazy how much food you could eat at breakfast, just as part of your room. It's not a great country. It's a socialist country, and they're working on that. But there's no place like America. This is the last
Working on
vestige of
it.
hope in the world.
But they have great breakfast.
But they have great breakfast.
So they got that going for
Yes,
them.
they do.
Okay, next
All right.
financial question.
Would you explain how a widespread pension works? My friend currently draws on her own Social Security, which has WEP taken out. It is likely her husband will pass first. Since his Social Security is higher than hers, she wants to maximize her benefits. What should she do or consider?
Well, usually the men die first because women basically kill us.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Not with
Go ahead.
kindness.
Do so, throw it at him.
Wrong.
Just, did you do this? Did you do that? I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got home, honey. You know, I'm already expected to paint like 3 bedrooms. I got home yesterday.
You haven't spent as much time with Lauren and Daria as I have. I'm just going to sit here quietly. And duck.
She's jotting down notes. No, it is true that men tend to die first. Just from, if you look at actuarial tables, we just don't live as long, probably because we do dumb things.
And we work so hard loving our wives, it just wears
we
us
work
out.
so hard loving our wives. But, you know, one of the things, I missed one part of that where they talked about a spread.
Yeah, she meant widow's pension. She texted in.
A widow's
pension.
pension. A widow's pension. Okay, so a widow's, what it would be, so what they've done, if he's taking a pension, she's got a joint life survivor option on that pension. And I think what I would be doing is I would want to be saving up as much money as I could to put into an account where I could draw income on it after he's gone so I could get closer to that monthly number that they need. And it's very important. People in retirement, I think, underestimate this frequently, is that when you're getting close to retirement, you have to know what it costs you to live. And I know a lot of people, especially as kids leave and, you know, maybe their house is paid off, they don't always pay as much attention to that monthly number. And like, you got to know these numbers. I tell people that number is critical to you and to me because I have to know if I can provide you with the income to live. And they've got to know these numbers to a T. It's got to be something that they look at frequently. And as my own wife retired and we started going through this process ourselves, you know, it's one thing to tell people what to do. It's another thing to do it yourself. And it was a little eye-opening for me because I've always had this appreciation for the decisions that we have to make. They're big. And some of them are permanent. You know, you take a pension and you cash the first check, you're not changing that. That's the way it is. So you're going to live on that. And it gave me, I think, a greater appreciation to what retired people. Now, I'm never going to retire. I'm 45-ish. I got a long time to go. I take such good care of myself. I could live to be 170.
And he also won Mr. Humble award.
That's
You know,
my favorite quality about myself, my humbleness. So
I'm not surprised.
yes. And so I think I want to know I need to know that they know their monthly number and that we could be saving some money to put into an account where we could whittle down to get her to their budgeted monthly number. That's how I would approach that.
I have a good amount of money in the savings account earning nothing.
Mm.
How much of a balance should I keep? I want to invest a chunk of it. I have no debt. A house and car are paid off.
I like 3 to 6 months of my have-to bills in a savings account, and I would even put that in a high-yield money market because there's no risk.
And you can get access to it immediately, right?
Anytime. You could have a debit card attached to it. You could use a almost like a credit debit card. You know how you go and they ask if you want to use a debit or a credit on the same card. Well, you could do that with some money markets.
So then why even have a savings account? Because you can earn 5% on a money market. I mean, what's the point of a savings account?
Brian, that's a good question.
Really?
You know what? Here is the purpose of a savings account. It's a place where a bank can give you a convenient holding tank and give you nothing for it. It's in the bank's best interest that you have a savings account with them because it's a loanable asset. So they're paying you 0.5%. And then you go to them and you say, you know what? I think I'd like a car loan. And like, Brian, we got the perfect car loan for you. 9.5%. It's really good for you. But they're paying you 0.5%. So the spread on that car loan for them is 9%. You've just officially entered the Christmas card list for them. They're going to love you. They want you to keep that loan forever. Don't pay it off early. This will help your credit. They tell you things like that.
They give you like 1 penny.
Yes.
They used to give you like
and
a toaster,
1099,
too.
so you got to report it on your taxes. So it doesn't make sense to have a 0 or 0.5% savings account. The thing is we've done this for so long because money has been cheap for so long that you couldn't really make money on cash anywhere. Well, now that's changed, and we got to change with it. So get with the times, Brian. Ditch that savings account.
The times passed me long ago.
I know.
And so ditching them is just out of the question. 440-546-2255. What's up next, Lauren?
Dave, I have a bachelor's, majored in accounting and marketing. I have 15 years experience, but not in accounting. How do I transition back to a numbers job this late in my career?
Well, the first thing that I would do is I would go back to school. I would take a few refresher courses and maybe start your master's. And so you could show an employer that you're bettering yourself. And I think you got to get and stay educated. It's one of my 9 financial mistakes to avoid is getting your education and never doing anything else with it.
You actually have 9?
I got 9 financial mistakes to avoid.
You couldn't come up with one more to make it 10?
I thought it was a little catchy to do 9. Like,
okay.
9.
It is. I like that. Yeah, nice.
I mean, I'm not going to make something up just to make it sound good, Brian. The things that I have to say have power.
Okay.
And they're powerful.
Okay, so one of your 9 is, again,
get and stay educated. You got to avoid the trap of just getting your degree and then walking off into the sunset because the people that are coming behind you, I see this with football players every year. So you got a football player that was drafted high, first round. 3 years in, everybody's younger than him. They're all trying to take his job. They're faster. They're bigger. These people have to stay trained constantly. And in the same way, we have to keep our education trained and growing every year because the people that are coming after you, they're more skilled. They've got more access to technology. They've got fresh learning and they're cheaper, by the way, too. So you've got to get and stay educated. Don't fall into that trap. Go back to school, take some refresher courses, start your master's, put it on your resume and get it out there.
You taking notes, Lauren?
No.
You're not ready to go back to school?
Oh, no.
She was taking
Pass.
notes when I said women kill their husbands.
No, I'm writing down people's names in order of when they ask questions.
I don't know what that note was, like kill Dave in parking lot.
But all right, so you heard it from Dave. He's got 9 things, and we heard one of them. Exciting. 8:31, time for a quick break. When we come back, more of your financial questions. And you can text or call in at 440-546-2255. Okay, 8:35, time to get your financial questions answered. 440-546-2255. All right, what's next, Lauren?
I have a personal question.
Oh, go ahead.
Have you heard about Shohei Otani with the Dodgers and his deal? Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Well, hold on. Let me refresh the listener. So the Dodgers signed Shohei Otani. He's a pitcher and an outfielder, okay? A 10-year deal, $700 million. And he deferred $680 million until after the contract expires. So he's taking what? some of it, and then deferring the rest after
because
he's
he's
done.
going to move out of the People's Republic, the People's Communist Republic of California.
No, but why would he do? So he's going to wait 10 years to get the vast majority of the money?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I love it. What it shows me is that people are thinking long term. You know, a lot of athletes get accused of, they're just going to take the money and they're going to spend it on cars and houses, which they do.
Yeah.
And that's fine because they got a lot of money, but he's thinking long term. One of the things when we're working with a baseball player right now, their schedules are so brutal. Most people could not even do the travel schedule of a baseball player, let alone sit in the sun. And I know you're going to say, oh, Dave, it sounds so tough.
Well, it's a good thing they get to stand around and sit most of the time. But anyway, carry on.
You know how hard it is for a relief pitcher to stay awake in the bullpen
I can't
for
imagine.
162 games?
Boy,
I mean,
poor guy. Can we have a moment of
I knew
silence
it.
for him?
I just won $10. I bet myself $10 you were going to say that.
Myself.
Now I'm out $10, but I made $10. So I love the fact that he's thinking long term, because what's going to happen is he's going to play for 10 years. And he may still be playing after 10 years because he's a pitcher, a left-handed pitcher. So at some point in time, he's going to have Tommy John surgery, which pitchers love because they can throw harder after it. And then he may be playing in Texas where there is no state income tax. If he took that $700 million in California, he's going to lose 60% of it. The state income tax in California is 14%. And what are they doing with it? They're paying for health care for people who are not even citizens.
So he wouldn't have to pay a California state tax, even though it's coming from the Dodgers?
Yeah, you pay the tax where you're domiciled. So if you live in Florida, the free state of Florida, there's no state income tax.
Wow.
If you live in Texas, there's no state
He
income
said,
tax.
I'm going to Texas. He said, I'm going to take my money and go to Texas.
That's right. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, that's smart.
He is smart. And as a financial advisor probably told him, you're not going to live off of $700
Yeah,
million.
you don't need it right now.
Yeah, you don't need it right now. This is long-term money. Don't take it right now. Defer it. Move out of California. A lot of people are moving out of California. It's strange there.
And
It's hard there.
And when you're an athlete, like you get meals from the organization. They feed you at, the stadium or whatever. Have doctors there, all that kind of stuff. So you're not paying for food. So
No, you're generally, if you wanted to eat 3 meals a day at the facility, you could do that.
exactly.
And
So save it for
when
when
you're on the
not
road,
there.
they give you a per diem anyway. So if you
Save your 700 mil for some other time.
in Cleveland, the baseball teams stay at La Quinta. No, I'm just kidding. The Ritz.
No
They stay at the
way.
Ritz. They stay at the Ritz.
The Ritz. Wow.
Yeah.
Poor
I mean, it's
guys.
still a hotel. You're still unpacking and packing your bag, which after a while is kind of a drag.
Well,
let me
and
tell you.
they're tired from not running at all, except for fleeting moments.
Well, good for Shohei.
That was, wow. Thank you, Lauren, for doing that. Someone loved that. It was a lot for me. It was numbers and baseball. So 8:39, let's get to another financial question. I
That
guess
was
that
a financial question, Brian.
Oh,
Sheesh,
boy.
dude.
Why don't you
Okay.
ask him about basketball now?
You
I don't
said
have one.
baseball, and he just
I know.
mind blanked.
It was gone.
Okay. Do you open a money market account at your regular brick and mortar bank, or is that an online banking company? If both offer, which one do you recommend?
Well, I want to do the thing that's easiest for me. I have enough hard things in my life, right?
That's my
So
life
true.
philosophy.
So what's the easiest thing for me to do and where I'm going to make the most money? So a lot of banks do have money markets. They're not going to really talk a lot about these because once your money comes out of a savings account and goes to a money market account, it now becomes a non-loanable asset for the bank. So it's off their balance sheet. And this drives bankers crazy. Bankers are pulling their hair out at a breakneck pace right now because money is still moving to money markets. And I just want to do what's easiest. So if
Me too.
all things being equal, if the rates were exactly the same and you're in your bank, that's the one I'm going to do. Now, don't pay a fee for your money market. Don't pay a commission for your money market. Don't pay a deferred fee. It should be.
There's no annual fee for a money market?
There's nothing.
Why?
There's a small, because that money market will loan money out to different people, pension funds and things like that on short-term loans.
So there's no cost to a money market?
Not the one I'm going to get. No way. I'm
Wow,
not
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
just
pay
assumed
money
there'd
is-
be a...
Well, that's because we're used to banks. And what banks do is they essentially nickel and dime you to death. Oh, yeah, there's
Well, they do have money there, so.
a $20 fee for that for a year. Oh, there's a $5 fee. Oh, you're going to come into the branch, there's a $5 fee for that. You know, $5, most people are going to say, what's $5? But you do that 100 times, and now you're at $200, right, Brian?
What?
Right.
440-546-2255. 440-546-2255.
Dave, it seems like inflation is higher than earnings on investment, making the money I have now worth more than it'll be in the future. Is investing really the best option, or is investing money into a side hustle a better investment? For example, if I spend $100 on a tool that earns me $200 each job, is that much better?
Well, I'm going to take issue with the major premise of the question, which is investments aren't outperforming inflation. Investing is the only thing that outperforms inflation. Your wages are down over the last 3 years because of inflation. So if you haven't created 20% more income over the last 3 years, you're losing money every year right now. And that's the reason why this administration can't get any traction on job growth and market growth and things like that, because inflation has been so confiscatory. It's punishing people right now, and that is not going to change. In fact, the CPI number that came out already probably showed that prices were up again. You know, prices went up 20% in some things, and they're rising slower, but they're still rising. And what people want to see is they want to see prices falling back to where they were, and I think that is not going to happen, no matter who comes next. I just don't think that we're going to get that type of deflation in the economy, and we might not even want it. So I like what he's saying, though, investing in a business, doing things like that. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you could do both, and I would do both, because I think you need to be diversified. Invest in the market, yes, but do other things also. It's not the only game in town, and if you do have a side hustle where you can create income from, I love that option too.
Well, and let's be real clear, if we just narrow the focus, he's asking, should I get a new tool? The answer is
Yes.
yes. And I've actually tried to coach Lauren's husband, Eddie, on this.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him your philosophy, my philosophy. For every project that comes up in the house I must do,
Yes.
it requires a new tool.
Yes.
And it usually does. He just laughs at this point. But I'm not looking for a laugh, Lauren. This man needs a new tool. Eddie needs a new tool right now.
Well, it is his birthday today.
Well, no. Well, he needs a new tool for that.
Yes. That birthday is new tool anyway.
Yeah.
So
But
don't
outside of that.
rob that from. This is why men die first, by the way, because they never get tools.
And the wrong
Sorry.
tool
Sad.
causes injuries.
Sorry, this man has so many new tools, okay?
He's got a starter kit, Lauren. That doesn't count.
Starter kit? Come on.
I don't know what he has. You think I know what those are? He has so many tools, okay? And do not even get me started on his Amazon wish list. It's all tools, okay?
He's a smart man.
I like him better.
He's been doing
It's literally
projects
all tools.
with tools that are inadequate for the job, Lauren.
I don't think so.
By the way, happy birthday, Eddie.
Yeah. Here's what Eddie needs to do is he needs to make the right answer to every question. No. So what you do is you say, you don't want me to do this wrong, do you? And you say, well, no, because no's easy to say. That's the first word that comes to most people's mind. So if you make the right answer, always no, he will have a lot of tools. Eddie, you're welcome, and thank you.
And that advice is free. That's good advice.
That's free. I'm not even charging Eddie for that.
Yeah,
But he probably just got 10 new tools out of it.
I'm sure.
I hope you're listening, Eddie. We got your back, bro.
Can someone play the disclaimer again?
Sorry. 8:45, time for a quick break.
Where online can we look for the best money market deals if not going to a local bank?
NerdWallet is one place that you can go.
What'd you just call
I
me?
wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, NerdWallet. The thing is that their money markets are pretty competitive. They understand what's going on. They want your money. I use, I know symbols in my head. I don't remember the names. So I could, I could put together a list and give it to you guys of money markets that I think would be worth investigating. And if you wanted to, and they're free. So, I look for the highest yield after any expenses. And then there's some expenses in the money market. They're running it and doing all that stuff. So there's minor expenses, but no commissions, no fees, like buy-in or sell fees, no contingent deferred sales charges or anything like that. And I could put together a small list.
Any handling fees?
Shipping and handling, otherwise known as scam fees.
Right.
Yes.
All right, next one.
All right. Considering what Dave said about savings accounts has got me thinking. I have about $8,000 in my savings at my bank, which is not earning much. I also have a PayPal savings, which is earning 4.5%, so I guess I should shift everything over there. The only thing I don't like about PayPal is that it takes quite a while, like a week, to get funds transferred back into the account. What kind of return would you expect from a high-yield investment as opposed to PayPal savings?
I didn't know PayPal. So, like, your PayPal account earns interest?
Oh.
I've never
Well,
heard
they
of it.
have an account there if you're keeping cash in it. I don't like PayPal at all, actually.
Wow.
Because they are communists. And all you have to do is look at their track record of things that they've kicked off their platform. It's the same thing with like GoFundMe.
What about Venmo?
I don't know much about Venmo. I personally don't Venmo people money. I don't like doing things like that.
Well, you have to have a smartphone for that. You don't have one of those.
I have an iPhone 15, and for the
Pretty
first
sure it's rotary. I've seen it.
Oh, my.
for the
Carries
first
it around with
time
him.
in my life, I've cracked the screen.
Oh,
So I just
sad.
got it, so I'm going to get it replaced. But I just noticed today the screen is cracked.
So now you're saying don't use that. Still go to money market.
Go to a money market because you can attach it to your bank account, and the money will be there the next day. So don't use PayPal. PayPal's junk.
Okay, wow.
All right. Wow. I'm just a little. Here we go. Next one.
What would you recommend investing in for retirement being self-employed?
I would do, assuming that you have your budget and your debt's paid and no credit card debt, things like that. You have an emergency fund. So we're kind of going through this sifting process. It doesn't start with saving for retirement. It starts before that, and you got to get those steps right first. But once you do that, one of the things that you can do, assuming that you're a single member of your business, or even if you're not, but you could do a simplified employee pension plan, an SEP people call it. It's like a super IRA, and you can save a lot of money in it. You're probably not going to hit the limits, but if you do, that's awesome because you can save a lot in a SEP. It's like 20% of your adjusted gross income can go into a SEP. I might not have that number exactly right, but it's way up there. So you're talking like $50,000-$60,000 a year you could put into a SEP if you have the income to justify it. And you could do it anywhere. I mean, anywhere. You could do it at a brokerage firm. You could do it at a bank. I personally would use an online broker or somebody like that because they're the cheapest ones to use. And if you go to a bank, they're going to try and talk you into, guess what? What are they going to talk you into, Brian?
An annuity.
An annuity. Hey, my oil is low in the car. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, an annuity. That's basically how the discussion goes. And so that's what I would do, an SEP.
All right.
I was thinking the same thing. Go ahead. Let's try to get another one in. We got, what, a minute and a half?
I got it.
What are your thoughts on reverse mortgages?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Lauren.
I think Tom Selleck likes them, if I remember right.
He does like them. They have a place. And I have a friend that I met from the radio who kind of schooled me. He did it under the guise of taking me out for coffee. And then he said, Dave, your opinion on reverse mortgages is stupid. And I said, oh, well, thank you for the coffee.
You took a sip on the free coffee and said, do tell. Tell me more.
Yes, tell me why I'm wrong. And he did. And, you know, there is a place for him. It's not where I would start. A lot of people use it if they're low on money and they want to stay in their house, but some people use it as like a line of credit. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. And I think when you look at a reverse mortgage or any financial product, you have to look at it in the grander scope of what's going on in your finances. And is that the best thing? So some people will come to me and say, hey, I'm going to buy something and I'm going to take all my cash and do it. And I say, no, we're not going to do that because I'd rather have some debt and some cash rather than no debt and no cash. And so when you're looking at these big financial decisions, I think you got to look at it in a grand scope and see if it makes sense then. But certainly there's a place for them. It's a niche product, and it should be looked as a niche product. It's not for the masses.
Yeah, I mean, I had an elderly neighbor in Chicago that had to leave her home because
they couldn't afford it. They probably got taxed out of it.
Yeah, like they started it too soon in their life. and like just expended the whole thing out, like took all the equity or something. He
Yeah.
couldn't afford the payment then.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
All right, well, that's just about it. Again, you could see this on YouTube, our Mornings with Brian and Moody Radio Cleveland channel. Go subscribe. Is it slam that subscribe button? Is that what we tell people on YouTube?
Smash it.
Smash.
Smash it. Smash that subscribe button. Have your kids watch it. The kids will love it. The kids love YouTube. And if you want to reach Dave, come to us, Mornings with Brian. You could just text 440-546-2255. Dave, thanks for coming in today.
Let's do a GoFundMe account for Eddie's tools because I
doesn't
feel
need
like
it.
he's suffering.
I mean,
the house,
at least a prayer
I think
chain.
he's suffering.
Or just his birthday present.
Prayer chain that costs us nothing, and then we can gossip about it.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren, guy needs a couple of tools a year
We
outside
gotta
of
go.
his
Chop
birthday.
saw. Get him a
We gotta get outta
compound
here.
miter saw with a sliding arm.
Do you want projects done around the house, Lauren?
We got to get out of here.
The right answer has to be no, Brian. The right answer has to be no.
Eddie, we're praying for you. Happy birthday. Okay, time to go. J.D. Greer's going to preach, and we're going to get out of here. Thanks,